Hi there. My name is Nelda Spell Mitchell. I live with my husband Dennis Mitchell out in the country from Collins, Mississippi. I put together stories that we talked about whenever we had a chance to sit in the swing and say, "Oh, do you remember so and so?" Well, I put them down and it was too big of a book. So we divided it into 2 volumes. You have to get volume 1 and volume 2. It says, "Have I told y'all this?" And to get your own copies, you just check on Mr. Amazon and say, "I want Have I Told Y'all This?" 2 volumes by Nelda Spell Mitchell. And they will send them right to your door. And I've been reading some of them and putting them on YouTube. If you got a friend that doesn't like to read, tell them to listen to the stories on YouTube. You just check on Nelda Spell Mitchell and Have I Told Y'all This? Right now, I'm going to tell you a little short story about my grandfather, my daddy's daddy. My daddy's daddy was Fred Spell, and his wife, my grandmother, was Viola Reddock Spell. And this is a picture of them when they were about 40 or 50 years old. And Ma always had real black hair, brown eyes. Pa's hair was sandy brown and blue eyes. And that's a picture of them. We have very few pictures of these old folks. But this is when my grandfather decided he would go to Pennsylvania with his nephew, Popcorn Rogers. Of course, that's a nickname. And they popcorn peddled produce for a living. And he was going to Pennsylvania and get a truckload of apples to peddle. And it probably was before Christmas because Pa Spell would have been very busy on the farm and couldn't take off for a few days. So I'm not sure what time of year it was, but it was just always told to me like this. And it was the winter, one winter in the 1930s, while the Great Depression was going on. Pa Spell decided he'd ride along with his nephew, Popcorn Rogers. Now, Popcorn's mother was a sister to Ma Spell, Viola. And Popcorn was going all the way to Pennsylvania to get a load of apples to bring back to peddle. Popcorn drove over to Pa's house and picked him up. Off they started in Popcorn's homemade truck. He had built a wooden cab and a flatbed on the back of the frame of a truck. It was a stripped down truck with the motor and the tires, axles, all the framework. And he had made the cab and the flat bottom. Well, they got about 2 miles down the road and the truck broke down. Pa got out and walked on another 1/4 of a mile to Mr. Meadows' country store. And Mr. Meadows said that Pa said, "Meadow, will you carry me back home? Popcorn Rogers has just broke me from sucking eggs." And that's when everybody laughed. The term sucking eggs got started when people grew what they ate and ate what they grew. Then and now, food must be worked for. In fact, everything must be worked for, or should be worked for. There's no such thing as an absolutely free ride. And Pa was going to have a free ride. But he said, and I'm going to tell you how to suck eggs. First, you steal an egg from a hen nest. Then you shake the egg vigorously to break the yellow and mix it with the white. Then with your fingernail, make a small hole in one end of the egg. Hold a finger over this hole and chip a larger hole in the other end. Keep the small end closed. Lean your head back a little and put the larger hole over your mouth. Release your finger from the small hole and suck out the egg. This routine of getting something for nothing was called sucking eggs. And there was a lot of that going on back in Pa Spell's day, my parents' day, when there was no money to buy anything, and the stores didn't have a lot of snack food anyway. Even if you went to the store, there was not a lot of snack food.